400 years of empire, torn apart by a dozen warlords. The entire Three Kingdoms saga in one map. It begins the day a single warlord marches on the capital. 189 The emperor is a child. Real power belongs to the court eunuchs until the generals move to wipe them out, and the killing spirals out of control. Into that chaos marches Dong Zhuo, a brutal frontier general. With an army at his back, he seizes the capital, Luoyang. He deposes one boy emperor and installs another, a puppet he can command. For the first time in 4 centuries, the Han throne answers to a warlord. The other warlords will not kneel. In 190, a coalition of regional governors rises in the east and marches west on Dong Zhuo. Among them is a minor officer named Cao Cao, ambitious, ruthless, and far more capable than his rank suggests. Dong Zhuo cannot hold. He burns Luoyang to the ground, drags the puppet emperor west to Chang'an, and barricades himself behind the mountains. 2 years later, his own bodyguard, Lu Bu, turns on him and cuts him down. But the empire he broke does not heal. With Dong Zhuo gone, there is no center left to hold. The empire shatters into rival domains, each ruled by a warlord, none strong enough to rule the rest. In the north, Yuan Shao, the most powerful man in China, from the most powerful family. Beyond him, Gongsun Zan. In the central plains, Cao Cao. To his east, the warrior Lu Bu. South of the river, Lu Biao holds the rich lands of Jing. The young conqueror Sunday, CA, carves out the southeast, and Liu Zhang sits behind the mountains in the west. A dozen men. One question: who will take it all? Then Cao Cao makes the move that changes everything. The puppet emperor, abandoned and starving, is wandering the ruins of the old capital. In 196, Cao Cao finds him and takes him. He moves the boy to his own city of Shu, and from then on, every order he gives is given in the emperor's name. His rivals are now officially rebels. He has turned the powerless child into the most valuable weapon in China. First, Cao Cao deals with the threat on his doorstep. Lu Bu, the deadliest fighter of the age and the least trustworthy. He has betrayed every master he ever served. In 98, Cao Cao corners him in the city of Xiapi and floods it. After weeks under the water, Lu Bu's own officers tie him up and hand him over. He is strangled on Cao Cao's order. The central plains are now Cao Cao's alone, but the real giant is still in the north. In 99, Yuan Shao destroys his last rival there, Gongsun Zan, and burns him in his own fortress. With that, Yuan Shao commands 4 whole provinces, the largest army, the richest land, the deepest reserves in all China. Now, only one man stands between Yuan Shao and the throne, and that man holds the south bank of the Yellow River with a fraction of his strength. The 2 giants have run out of smaller enemies. There is only each other left. The year is 200. Yuan Shao crosses the Yellow River with 100,000 men and marches south. Against him, Cao Cao can field barely a tenth of that. He digs in at a river crossing called Guandu and refuses to break. For months the 2 armies grind against each other. Cao Cao's food runs out. His officers begin writing secret letters to the other side. By every measure that should matter, he has already lost, and then he gambles everything on a single night. A defector brings Cao Cao the location of Yuan Shao's entire food supply, stockpiled at a depot called Wuchao, lightly guarded. That night Cao Cao leads a raid through the dark, slips behind the lines, and burns it all. Yuan Shao's army, suddenly with nothing to eat, collapses, outnumbered 10-1. Cao Cao has won the battle that decides the north. Yuan Shao flees across the river, a broken man, and dies 2 years later. The whole of northern China now belongs to one warlord. The road to the Three Kingdoms runs through Cao Cao, and it runs south to a river called the Red Cliffs. But that is the next map